the Wednesday thing yet. Do you want to tell me what you liked about it, and do you all have any ideas for how we should present Monday?
Yeah, I mean, since I brought it up, I'll maybe just continue, then I'll just be quiet and listen. But the first subcommittee that went for me was just great because, first of all, they did the bills in order, and I was actually listening and filling out the sheet, whatever the intake sheet at the same time. Some of them I couldn't because I needed to get more research, but most of them I did. And the person who actually did the work on it is the one who did the speaking, instead of some of the other subcommittees. One person was sort of saying, oh, and this is this and this, and so, maybe you want to talk about this. And it was just adding so much more time to it. And then another group was skipping around and mentioning bills that weren't even on the sheet. So that was, I thought, very confusing.
Okay. So the group that you liked, all of the members did some of the presenting?
Right.
Okay.
And they were very concise. It was just, a few sentences. And you could follow right along so that you really got a sense of, oh, okay, this number's this. All right. That's a no-brainer. You fill out the form. Because that's going to be a lot to try to go back and fill. If we can't fill it out while we're listening, I don't know, Tom, what do you think about that?
I agree with Vicki that subgroup 1 or subcommittee 1 was the best. One, because I like brevity, even though I tend to talk a lot. But they went through stuff. It was in order. Then some of the other groups talked about stuff that they didn't want to move forward. And I just got lost and I couldn't, and there were bills that they were talking about that weren't even listed and nothing was in order. I think this is really designed to be a short and sweet presentation.
Yep.
So I agree with just about everything Vicki said. And, I haven't got a chance to read everybody's summaries, but I think we've done that, where they're, here it is. This is why it's important. Have at it with your scoring system and all. So.
Well, I feel fortunate that I only saw subcommittee 1 present, and they were precise. It was awesome. It was a little intimidating, but it was awesome because I wasn't sure. And I'll just also admit that Representative Tom was the first ones that submitted to us as a subcommittee. And I says, oh, now I know how to write it. It's like, okay, right. My opinion, my thoughts, how happy I am about it. So I feel sure about that. And then seeing them, it was like, okay, that's it. That's what we're doing. What I'm unsure about is how to do the form.
You mean the scoring?
Yeah, because there's a second one you're supposed to do as you listen to them, right?
I wasn't able to do that because the scoring.
I was doing it.
But Vicki's more capable than I am because the form was different than what we were scoring stuff on.
Right.
When we went through the bill. So, and then as I started to get lost with the meandering presentations, I sort of gave up and said, I'll do that over the weekend. Remembering everything they said, which I know I won't.
But it's on YouTube, so you can go back and look at them.
If I was a very diligent student, that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's hard, though, about the group that skipped around is the bills that I think we're supposed to be rating weren't even on there. So I don't know. Some of that I may, unless I know they sent an amended one. So I'll take a look at that. And I hope, now I'll have to put my answers on the amended one, which shouldn't be a big deal as long as I get another computer. But what was I going to say? You asked about how the form is. So half of it is the ease, and maybe Megan will jump in here, but it's the ease at which it could be implemented. Was that right, Megan?
I don't think she's on. We had Katie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, there's 4 things on one side and 4 things on the other, and you're rating them 1 to 5 as to how easy one was like how easy it can be implemented, and that had to do with financing, public approval and acceptance, and then the other side had to do with another set of factors. So, you know, once you kind of get it in your head what it means, it's not too hard to do it.
Good.
You know.
Okay.
So we like the idea of everyone that's already done summaries on these bills. They all look really great to me, by the way. We just go in order. They're listed on the sheet, and everybody presents what they did research on quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed to go the best, and it meant that there wasn't someone talking about it who hadn't researched it, and there wasn't that lag time in between. It just went really well, and their committee was ready to go. Like, it's like, okay, this next one's mine. This is da 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 da, and then the next person would say, I took this one. Here's why we should, you know. So.
Okay. So it seems like the only busy work we would need to do is get that order and make a list of who does what when, and then we should. It'll be already on there. They sent us the amended that same day. They fixed the sheet and sent it. It's a spreadsheet, and you look at the bottom, and it's an Excel spreadsheet. At the bottom, it has each subcommittee. So you just tab on subcommittee 7, and you will see all our bills there and the order. They're already on there and in the order. So we just have to kind of pay attention so we know, oh, I'm second, or I go after so-and-so, and be ready to go. Because we're going to be last. And Rachel was, Representative Talbot Ross was very, you know, she was sticking to that time limit, wasn't she, Tom? And I'm worried because we're last, that if everybody else is really verbose, you know, we're going to be like, oh.
Okay.
A little bit was good facilitation too. Do you know what I mean? She did keep it going. It was like,
Yeah.
But there were only 3 subgroups that presented that day, and they're going to be 4 on Monday in the same amount of time, I think.
Yeah. Well, hopefully enough people watched from those committees so that they'll be saying the same thing we are, and we'll all be doing it at the pace and the style of Subcommittee 1.
Yeah.
I just will say about my list that I sent, the third one, if anybody read through it, and you might not have had, I haven't read through everybody's, I'll be honest. But the third bill I have, which is the gambling bill for the Passamaquoddy tribe, I did end up speaking with Representative Collings yesterday. So we had a good talk, and I will be changing what I say to be, you know, I was kind of like, I'm a little unsure about it, but I will be strongly suggesting that's a good one for us to do.
Awesome.
And I provided an update on one of my bills, 182,
Saw that.
which is called an act to amend the main bail code, blah, blah, blah. And it's not that anymore at all. And the more important bail bill is LD 1421, which I don't know if that was already presented, but I'll still talk about this, but it will be even, it will be more brief. So I'll send an amended version out to everybody. And it also was in our committee today, and it's moving forward.
Great.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, since we're here, then, go ahead.
I was going to say, we'll just need to let everybody else know kind of that isn't on the call today.
Right. And probably everybody will come Monday, but are we prepared, or should we get prepared for those who don't come Monday that sent their summaries in, that somebody's going to do them like ahead of time so we know? And then I'll take advantage of this moment because, like I said, I really was struggling how to write this, and I feel like I'm okay now. But what I knew I didn't have is, and I wouldn't be able to answer it if someone asked me, as far as, is there a fiscal note? I know one does have that. I couldn't find where it was. And if I found it, I probably wouldn't know what to say about it because it said see attachment, but I couldn't find it. And yeah, so that was a little tricky for me.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully no one will ask. And if they do, maybe one of the state reps could step in because it's your jargon anyway.
It's okay to say no, that I don't know too, because
Yeah.
a lot of times I'm looking for fiscal notes and I don't find them, but I know that the bill is going to cost money. So
Right.
there's going to be one at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we don't have all the answers on everything either. So, and if you say, gee, I'm not sure, you know, perhaps the sponsor will be involved and can pipe right up, but we can always get that information, you know, as we go on. But, and I think your idea of maybe just saying, if you're not going to be involved in this call, please let us know. And, you know, they can send you or Molly in their summaries. That's a good idea.
And I'm happy to take, you know, if you want to divide those up, I'm happy to just present somebody else's summary with the disclaimer that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I mean, you know, I'll definitely be there. So, you know, I've got it on my calendar and I'm planning to do it.
I appreciate you all. I've always have appreciated the Maine legislator, whoever's in the seats, because it's work for the most part, you know. And everybody has to figure out their own thoughts, ideas, and opinions, even if they don't match somebody else's. So I appreciate the work you do. But this was kind of cool for me. I really liked looking at it from this side compared to going to the State House because you like a bill and you want to go support it, or you don't like a bill and you want to make sure it doesn't happen, or you have a bill. It's just really different. And I've appreciated being able to do this. What a tough job. Yeah. And now even tougher if you had to go through that criteria for every bill that comes through for the rest of, you know, the rest of your careers.
And we still
Well,
don't.
I think it's a great lens. I am appreciating it. It's already just participating in this little amount that we have. It's already changing my thinking about things. And in fact, you know, I had a hard time even with the one I had that was the Summer Success Program. I thought, well, this all comes down to who's choosing the students and the schools, and are they using the right criteria to choose the kids? You know, you really start to think pretty deeply.
Yeah, it's cool beans.
Such a great vision for this whole thing. And we can probably all thank Rachel Talbot Ross. I think this collaboration has been really special. And I think like the ripples from it will be really good for change and progress and all that good stuff.
I agree. I think a lot of
agree
legislators that I've spoken to have said they thought they were thinking about this stuff, but they weren't until they were forced to answer these particular questions. And it's something that hopefully we'll do automatically moving forward. In judiciary today, we had two bills about appointments to committees. And the committees aren't necessarily real important, but we added language to each of those bills just to say that when making appointments, the appointing authority should take into consideration the racial and ethnic diversity that exists in Maine, period. Not to require things, but just think about it when you're appointing.
Yeah, great.
To groups and commissions.
So
it's making some change.
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely happening. So now what?
I think we have a good game plan. I can send out an email to everyone laying out our strategy for the presentation and making everyone RSVP for Monday so that we know what we're working with. I think most people will be there, but at least we'll have a heads up if not.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we can. I think was Ryan okay? I know he had a question about one of his bills, but he ended up sending the summaries. Maybe I can check in with him. So you and I can check in with him, Dee, separately and just make sure he's good to go.
That was.
Yeah, and he was there the other day, wasn't he? He was on the call the other day, so he'll know what you're talking about, you know.
Yeah. I think he had a question if one of his
the career and technical
Yeah, that one.
mentors.
so
Yeah.
I did too when I read it.
yeah.
I didn't give it a good score, you know,
And
but I could be wrong.
Did you see Dee? I had assigned the one you had a question on the bond. I had assigned it to Michelle Dunphy, and she did a good job explaining. So
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
hopefully when we see it all laid out, they all make sense.
I mean, I basically look at this as a sales pitch, I have to say. You know, that's
Yes.
the way I'm viewing it. That you're kind of saying quickly what it does, and then just saying, you know, here's why it's important. It, you know, I've got one that's drones, and I did some research with the surveillance, and so, you know, to say, you know, people of color are much more likely to be surveyed and you know, have surveillance techniques used against them. So, you know, let's not let people use drones.
Right. I just thought, like, who cares about drones? And right, it took that, and then it turned out a lot of people at DV, domestic violence, cares about them. So I had to look at it that perspective. And then it's
Right.
like, okay, so actually people have easy access to these. You know,
Yeah.
they easy to get and use. And then, yeah, like off the top of my head, I would have just thought, I don't care about drones. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah.
I mean, is it as important as other things? Maybe not, but that'll be up to everybody doing the ranking to determine, you know, or eventually you guys on the commission.
Right.
Anyway,
All right. Well, I'm going to skedaddle. I just got back a little while ago from Augusta, and I'm with my son. It's his birthday today, so
birthday mom.
I'm going to go. Yeah, birthday mom. I'm going to go celebrate 32 years of being a mom. But thank you guys.
Survived it.
Yeah, thanks so much, and I'm looking forward to Monday. And I think you know, our group will be fine. And if anybody needs anything, and Dee, if you want anybody to look over what you've written, I'm happy to do that. So
I
feel free
sent
to
it
send
in,
to
so you
me.
should be able to see it. I sent
Okay,
it to the
good.
group. Right? So.
Okay, I've been out of it today, being in
It's
the
a lot of
committee,
cut and
then-
pasting.
All right, good. Well, good. I'm sure it's fine.
Take care,
Great.
Vicki.
Thank you. All right, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Bye.
So we all good, you think?
I think so.
Okay.
Feel good, Dee?
Yeah, I am. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
And I'll see you Monday, but I'll probably see something before that, right?
Yeah, I'll get an email out this afternoon.
I just got to go get out of my legislator clothes. So
Okay.
take care.
Let your hair down. See you all later. Bye-bye.
Have a
Not
good
much anymore, but thanks.
weekend.